Medicare is making changes to the way you can search for a Part D drug plan, starting with the 2020 plans. So in this video, I will show you Medicare's new Plan Finder tool. If you have a Part D drug plan and you have used the original Plan Finder tool in the past to research your drug plan options, you may have also kept a drug list ID and password date in order to go back in each year and review your drug plan options based on your medications that have been saved in the Plan Finder tool. Unfortunately, that drug list ID and password date is not going to transfer over to the new Plan Finder tool, so we won't be able to use that information moving forward. If it's still September and you're watching this video, you will have access to the original Plan Finder tool if you want to go in with your drug list ID and password date and print out your list of medications. But it will not be able to transfer to the new Plan Finder tool to access 2020 plans. I'm going to show you Medicare's new Plan Finder tool because the good news is that we can still save your medications. It's just going to be in a different format. So let's go ahead and walk through the process of using Medicare's new Plan Finder tool. The first step is to go to medicare.gov, and on this page you will find a link to the Plan Finder tool. As of the making of this video, there's actually two links, one to the original Plan Finder and then to the new Plan Finder. And I'm sure Medicare will update this page as time goes on, but there will be a Plan Finder link on the home page for you. So we're going to click this link, try it now. And now that the older version or the original Plan Finder tool will not be usable for 2020 Part D drug plans and plans moving forward, there is going to be two ways for you to get in and look at the new Plan Finder tool. The first way is to log in or create an account. And the account they want you to create is a mymedicare.gov account. If you already have an account, great. You can log right into it by using your username and password that you've already set up. If you do not have a mymedicare.gov account and you have a Medicare number, you can go ahead and create an account. You do need a Medicare number, and you don't have to have an email address, but you can include it if you want to. However, it's not required. The other option is to review your drug plans by not logging into your mymedicare.gov account, which is a good option for someone who doesn't have a Medicare number. I'm going to start by going through that process. It is very similar to if you do use the login for MyMedicare, but there's just a few little differences that I will point out. If you are going to go into the new Plan Finder tool without logging in, you will be asked some questions. You want to view plans. We'll do Part D and Medigap, and we'll put in a zip code. Then we will say, no, we don't have a Medicare number yet, and we'll put in a birthday. And you select I don't get any help from any of these programs unless you do. And then next. Do you want to see your drug cost when you compare plans? Yes. How do you normally fill your prescriptions? We're going to say both so we can compare between a retail pharmacy and mail order. And then next. And here's where you type in your medications. Now the big difference between this tool and the tool that we are used to using, if you've done this before, is that there's no longer a drug list ID and password date. So if you do not have a mymedicare.gov account and you go in without logging in, you will have to type in your medications every time you want to review the plans, which when you don't have a Medicare number, you don't have a choice. So it is definitely beneficial to set up that mymedicare.gov account when you can. We're going to add another drug. We'll just add a few. And we can change the dose amount, add to drug list, and let's just do one more for good measure. Okay, so we've added a few drugs. Now we are going to say we are done with adding the drugs. We get to select two pharmacies. So we'll select these two, and it's done. And now Medicare shows us our plan options. Now these are based on 2019 plans because as of the making of this video, the 2020 plans aren't out yet. But come October, and officially October 15th, the 2020 plans will be available to review. And so you'll be able to put in your medications and see the plans. And how it sorts it is by lowest monthly premium. As you can see up here, that's just how it's sorted. But we want to look at the plan details, so we'll click the plan detail button and see how much our medications cost. So this is at CVS, which is in-network. This is the cost before the deductible. This plan did have, or does have, a $415 annual deductible. These medications, though, because they're probably a low tier 1 or tier 2, you don't have to satisfy the deductible in order to receive this low copay. Tier 3 and higher medications on most plans, that's when you've got to satisfy the deductible first. And here it tells you too, based on current drugs, it's estimated that you won't meet your $415 deductible this year. And remember, we're looking at 2019, so this is just for October, November, and December, as you can see here. $0 copays for these medications. Kroger is in network, however, it's receiving standard pricing and not preferred, so there's some low copays. And it breaks it down for October, November, December, and then of course mail order. When you want to go back to that main list, just scroll back to the top and select back to search results. And you can always look at the next plan, look at the plan details, and the other thing we can do is compare side by side. So we generally take the first 3 plans, but I know sometimes having no drug deductible is appealing. So we'll sometimes look at a plan with no drug deductible or lower drug deductible, and we'll compare. And here you can see these are side by side. We've got 3 low price plans and 3 different deductibles. And it shows us the pharmacy information, how much the medications will cost at the pharmacies that we selected or mail order. And then you can again look at the individual plan details. I'm sure that Medicare is going to be updating this Plan Finder tool as we start using it. Again, this is brand spanking new, so we are all learning how to use it and learning all the little ins and outs of the Plan Finder tool. You can also always look for a print icon if you ever want to print out the information. Now we want to go back to results. I'm always looking for the back button without coming up and pressing the back arrow, because sometimes that can take you where you don't want to go and make you start all over again. So back to results, and then here we are again. And if we don't want to compare anymore, we'll just X these out and take them off the screen. So now we'll go back to medicare.gov and let's enter the Plan Finder tool as if we do have an account. So we'll log in, and here you will put in the username you created along with your password. And if you forgot your username or password because you set up this account a long time ago, just click on Trouble Signing In and then select the link that's appropriate to what you need. Once you've logged into your plan using your username and your password, you will see your current coverage, and you will also be asked some additional questions. Zip code and birthday, and answer yes, you want to see your drug costs when you compare plans. Now remember, these are going to be 2019 plans that are still popping up, but when you get back in here in October 15th officially, you will see those 2020 drug plans. We're just kind of going through the same steps we did before, but now what you're going to see is that when you have a mymedicare.gov account and you've had a Part D plan, what's going to show up are the medication that you have purchased using your drug plan, your Part D drug plan. Those are going to populate here, so you won't have to type those in each time. But if something is not here, of course you can add it. If you don't want something here, then you can take it away. So you can just click on what you need to be removed and select next, and it'll ask you remove drug. So we'll remove it, and it says we've been successful. Now, do I want to add more drugs? I can certainly do that if I want by clicking this button. We'll just go to next. And then just like before, you're selecting pharmacies and then just moving through the process, and then you get the whole list of drug plans that are available, and you can also compare. What they will show you is the one that you already are using, and it's already checked off and ready to compare to the other plans that are available. Okay, so just as a reminder, I'm back to Medicare.gov. I asked to go back to the old Plan Finder tool, the original one. So I want to remind you, especially for those of you who've been on Medicare for a while, that this Plan Finder that we are used to using, recognize this view? This is the one that's going away. And we won't have that drug list ID and password date to use with that new Plan Finder tool I just showed you. So if you've been using a drug list ID and password date in the past with this drug Plan Finder tool, it will be obsolete and you won't be able to use it. So that's why we took the steps to go through the new Medicare Plan Finder, and also talked about how important it is to sign up for the mymedicare.gov account. Well, I hope you found this information helpful. I know change is hard. It has certainly been challenging on my end as well, getting used to the idea of a new Plan Finder tool. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave them below in the comment section. And if you know anyone that could benefit from this video, please feel free to share it with them. As always, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Right? This is very difficult. Wanna? No. Oh, you don't recognize me. It's gotta work. Okay. It has certainly been challenging. No.